Hi, I'm Shelly Cervantes with New Horizon English. Thank you so much for being with me today. We are here to help you bridge the gap between English and Spanish. So every Monday we have a video that teaches English to Spanish speakers, and then on Wednesdays we release another one that teaches Spanish to English speakers. Okay, so the lesson today is how to form a sentence whenever we have two verbs together in Spanish. So, you know, in Spanish, normally when we have a verb, we have to conjugate it depending on the subject. So, for example, tener, which means to have, would change depending on who you're talking about. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, nosotros tenemos, ellos tienen. If you need a refresher of that, go back and check out video 1 in this series. Okay, so whenever we're trying to form a sentence with two verbs together, what we have to do is conjugate the first verb, but leave the second one in what is called the infinitive form. The infinitive form is just the basic form of the verb before it changes with the subject. It always ends with an R. So for instance, ser, estar, tener, comer, querer. Whenever we're forming those sentences with two verbs, we conjugate the first one and we leave the second one in its infinitive form. Okay, let me show you how this works with a couple of examples. How would you say, I want to have a house in Greece? Okay, the first verb is to want, and the second verb is to have, right? So to want in Spanish is querer, and to have is tener. Go ahead and repeat that. Querer, tener. All right, so now we need to conjugate the first verb, but then we're going to leave the second one in its infinitive form. So in Spanish, I want to have a house in Greece would be yo quiero tener una casa en Grecia. Yo quiero tener una casa en Grecia. Okay, very good. Let's try another one. How would you maybe say, he wants to eat Mexican food? Well, to want in Spanish, we said is querer, and to eat is comer. Go ahead and repeat that. Querer, comer. All right, so remember, we're going to conjugate the first one, querer, and we're going to leave comer in its infinitive form. Él quiere comer comida mexicana. Él quiere comer comida mexicana. Okay, so I want for you to take note of something that's a little bit different. You might say an exception in Spanish. Whenever there's an obligation to do something, like for instance, I have to work today, you would just use have in English and then to work. Well, in Spanish, have to, like having an obligation, we actually use a phrase, and it's using tener que. So you have to conjugate the tener part. In that case, I have to work today would be yo tengo que trabajar hoy. Trabajar means to work. So say it with me. Yo tengo que trabajar hoy. All right, so now it's time for the phrase of the day. How would you say, they have to study the lesson tonight? I'll help you out a little bit. To study in Spanish is estudiar. Go ahead and repeat it. Estudiar. All right, here's the answer. They have to study the lesson tonight is ellos tienen que estudiar la lección esta noche. Ellos tienen que estudiar la lección esta noche. All right, great job. Now it's your turn. I want for you to create your own sentence using two verbs together and put it in the comment section. I love reading your answers. Go ahead and grab a dictionary. Maybe you can find some new verbs and be very creative with it. All right, I hope this video has helped you. And if so, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, and share it with some other people that would like to learn Spanish. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, alza su voz.